guys, and welcome back to my podcast where we talk about all things weight loss. On this specific episode, I had Jordyn. She is a year post-op next month in September, and she is 110 pounds down. We discuss so many different important topics when it comes to weight loss surgery. So we talked about food that we might be eating now that maybe we shouldn't. We talked about negative comments and how we deal with those negative comments. We talked about the goals that we have now that we are a year post-op, and so much more. So if you haven't yet, you guys, you can check this video out on YouTube, obviously. And then you can also download the Anchor app where you can search my name, Body, Mind, and Soul _VSG, and you can listen to it in a podcast form where you plug into your car and you can just listen to it that way. Or you can watch the video on here. So yeah, you guys, so if you guys are interested, then please keep on watching. Cool. So let's just get started. Tell us a little bit about yourself, like when you got surgery, all that good stuff.
My name is Jordyn, and I had surgery on September 9th, 2019 in Lubbock, Texas at Covenant Hospital.
Oh, that is so September, you said what? September what? You told me twice.
9th.
9th. That is coming up. You're the third person I think on my podcast that's from Texas.
Yeah, well, I live in New Mexico, but I traveled there.
Oh, okay. How far is
Yeah.
New Mexico from Texas?
I live on the border, so 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How are you feeling that you're coming up to your 1 year?
I'm so excited, and I'm thankful, like, for where I'm at and what I've been able to accomplish, but I wanted to accomplish more. I feel
why do you say that? Like, what makes you feel like that?
Because I had a stupid number set, I think, and I am like 15 pounds away.
So what are your stats? What were your, if you're comfortable sharing, what was your starting stats and your stats now?
The very first time I went to the doctor, I was 263 pounds, and today, when I weighed this morning, I was 152.
152. So what's your goal? 140?
130. 135, yeah.
So you're how many pounds down?
Like 110, 110.
Yeah. How tall are you?
5'2".
5'2". Yeah, see, I'm struggling with that too because I'm 5'4". You know, I'm gonna be hitting my 13 months post-op, and I'm 160, and I've been 160 for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
2.5 months. You know, I stopped losing weight around 10 months post-op, and I go back and forth on like if I want to lose more weight, or if I don't. I literally keep going back and forth because, like you said, I feel like we stick with the number in our head from the beginning, and because we're not meeting that number, we feel like we're kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say not successful because we've lost so much weight, but we're letting those 15 pounds, 20 pounds really keep us from celebrating.
It's true. I wish it wasn't like that, but it just is.
Have you had,
I think it's because
go ahead.
We've worked so hard. We worked so hard to get here. It's like, I'm not going to let those last little things keep me, but it's like keeping getting there.
Crazy. I think that's so crazy because, yeah, like 110 pounds. That's insane. Like, that's amazing. But it's so hard for us to, like, I don't know. Yeah. Have you had because I haven't seen my doctor since my 6-month post-op. Are you keeping up, or do they have you meeting with him?
I saw him in July. So I went to see my doctor in July, but New Mexico has these, we're still like on lockdown and stuff.
Yes.
So you have to quarantine if you go anywhere, and
if you go 2 minutes away.
Yeah.
If you go to another state. Yeah, I know.
And our governor, like, she goes on her little whatever, and she'll be like, she calls out our county every time. She's like, Lee County, I see you. And I'm like, it's probably me.
Are the numbers pretty high there?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in California, so it's pretty crazy. But yeah, everything's still kind of, it's the same. Wearing masks.
I think it got really bad in the Navajo Nation here, where the Indian tribes and stuff are at. It got really, really bad there.
Okay.
But that's not here. It didn't get bad. I mean, I think we have like we finally reached 100 cases, maybe.
Yeah, it's a weird time, like you said, and you know, it happened. So it started when did we really go? We went on lockdown around March-ish,
Yeah.
right? Like March, going to be September.
I know. And everyone gets mad at me, and I'm like, listen, they said 14 days. Now it's 30. Now it's like months later. Like, I'm over it.
I know. It's a very sensitive topic, and everyone has their own opinions on it, you know? But yeah, it's frustrating, especially when we're going through such a huge thing in our life, you know?
Yes.
You know, I've talked to so many people that and I'm so thankful, and I'm so thankful that my surgery didn't get put on hold because of it.
Oh my gosh, I know. I couldn't.
People, yeah, that their date has been pushed back months, and now they're doing it.
And they had already done so much work. I
Yes.
just feel so bad for them.
Especially, like, I mean, if that would have been me, honestly, the way that I coped with stress was food, right? So
yeah, I would have ate.
Yeah, like, whatever. I have 3 more months. I'm gonna eat.
Yeah.
I don't care, you know? So yeah, I talked to a lot of people that have been going through that and are finally now getting their surgeries, you know, now that it's opened up. So yeah, that's hard. So you were about how many months in March post-op? I'm trying to think how much. I feel like I was still I'm horrible at math.
I was like 6 months.
Yeah, I was like 7, 8 months. And I was still losing weight and stuff. And I remember, cause I still worked during this, you know, I went from full-time to part-time, but I still worked. So I still tried really hard to keep my routine going and everything. But just the stress of everything,
I worked the whole time. Whenever COVID hit, I was working for an oil field company. So we were oil and gas, you know, and we were busy.
Yeah.
But they laid me off like 2 weeks ago. So it's like, what in the world? Literally everything has changed.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's tough. And there's so many people that are going through that. And I know that's the last thing you want to hear, but it's just, man, it's so hard everywhere.
But everything happens for a reason. I mean, I had to be able to homeschool my daughter anyway, so.
Yeah, I know that too.
I'm not a good teacher.
I know, it's tough. Like my little brother is in middle school. So he started middle school, and then he has 6 classes. And here, you know, it's like, it's so much. So,
oh, man.
Yeah, it's stressful. I know. What have you been doing to like cope with just all this stress?
I just do at-home workouts.
Okay.
I've been doing the Alive app with Whitney Simmons.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down. I don't even know who that is, but I'm gonna write it down.
It's only like $14 a month, and it's her app, and there's at-home workouts and gym workouts, and I'm like, it's worth it. So, and she's super sweet. She has a YouTube channel.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. I'm still, you know, the gyms and everything closed over here. They're probably closed over there. I never went to the gym after surgery. I had my personal trainer, so it was it was in her garage. But she stopped for a while, like when everything closed, and she stopped, and then she reopened maybe about a month ago. So I'm still going to her and stuff. But my husband goes to the gym, and they like opened it for like a week and then shut it down again.
Closed it.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's good to know like recommendations on, you know, different apps and stuff. Because sometimes it's hard to find someone that you really like when it comes to workouts. You know, when did you start doing that?
During COVID. She launched the program called Alive Inside, and I'm like, hey, I can do that. We're going to be home that long, working from home and all those things. So I'm like, I can just do that. And then I just stayed with it because I like the program. She has like different weightlifting things, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know. It's just hard because like I said, if this was before surgery, I would have coped with COVID.
Yeah.
So many different ways. I mean, number one, food. Obviously.
I caught myself trying to snack a lot more than I would have ever. And I was like, what are you doing? No,
let's talk about that. How is your snacking? Because I'm about to be really real right now. How have you been snacking?
Well, last week was not good at all. I think I even saw the scale go up 3 pounds, and I was like, no. So I just cracked back down and allowed myself 1 and like a half snacks. So not like 2 full snacks a day, but I'll just add them in if I need them.
Yeah.
And lately my body's been craving like vegetables, just raw vegetables. So I've just been snacking on
That's better than other things, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
I've wanted to try things. I did last weekend for the very first time try 1 bite of cake.
What kind of cake was it?
It was like a lemon blueberry.
Did it make you sick?
I didn't get like nauseous. I just got so dizzy I had to like sit down, and I started sweating, and I'm like, this is not worth it. I cannot do that. So
yeah. Have you experienced dumping syndrome?
Yeah.
You have? But like throwing up or?
No, the other, and it's
Really?
like instant. You have to like take off running.
Okay. Yeah, and I haven't experienced it, but I did experience one time. It was also cake. It was on Father's Day. My stepmom got my dad a cake, and it was crepes. It was really cool. It was just like layers of crepes because my dad loves crepes.
Yeah.
And there was like strawberries and stuff on top, but like the crepes, there wasn't like any filling or anything. It's literally layered crepes. And I was like, oh, let me try it, because I'm not even big on sweets. I'm not even the one that's like, I need sweets. You know, I'm more like crunchy. Like I like and stuff. And I tried it, and I ate a little bit, and I felt fine at that moment. And then, like you said, so I guess I did experience it, but not really. I just started getting really hot, and I thought I was gonna, vomit. So I like kind of got up because we were all at a table. There was like 12 of us. And I was like, I'll be right back. And my sister kind of knew. She looked at me, and I was like, I don't know, like just hold on, give me a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then I went to the bathroom, and I didn't throw up. I just got, like before you're gonna throw up, this is TMI, but like when you just get a lot of saliva in your mouth, you're kind of like, oh, is it gonna happen? And it didn't happen. I was able to
that will happen to me if I take 1 bite too many. Every time that feeling happens to me.
Yeah, I was like, I thought I was going to for sure. And then since then, I haven't had anything sweet like that, like cake and stuff. You know, I eat like the Yazzos or like the Halo Top. That doesn't make me sick. And that, it's good. It is good. You know, it's just, I feel like we push it. Like, I know I do. I've been, now that I'm further out, and it's bad.
Catch myself.
Yes. You know, someone will be eating cake, or I don't know, like honestly, I didn't have a burrito, like an actual like burrito this entire time. And I had a burrito last weekend. It was half of it, but I was able to eat half. And I was already, I was kind of like, wait, I ate half of a burrito. What? You know?
I have been getting those low carb tortillas where they're like, okay.
I
make like,
I make them at home, but I mean, like I ordered one from a taco shop, and I haven't done that.
Yeah.
You know?
I make chips for myself out of those tortillas, and I just season them, bake them.
Do you bake them?
Yeah.
Do you have an air fryer?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have one, but I think I wanna get one.
It makes everything so good. Like your chicken comes out good, your sweet potato fries.
I love sweet potato. Yeah, I think it's like, I know, I have found a lot of alternatives. So like, sweet potato, or like, the tortillas, the low carb tortillas, all of that. But then like my husband the other day was like, oh, I want food. I want like taco shop, like this taco shop by our house. And usually I'd be like, cool, like let me order a chicken, like a small chicken taco, right? Like a mini one, not fried, like a little mini one. And I would eat that. And then this time, for some reason, I was like, oh, let me get a burrito. And it was a chicken burrito. Like it was with veggies and stuff like that, which is not that bad, but still,
it's just not something we're used to now.
And I feel like it's opening up the door to be like, oh, you didn't get big, you ate half of a burrito. And I don't want to do that.
Me either. And it kind of scares me a little bit, because I don't ever want to go back to what I was. And it's like, if it's easy to go down, and I know that's why they push like only vegetables, only this, stay away from that. I know that's why they do that, because they know.
Yeah.
But it's so hard too, because there's still a part of us that still loves and enjoys food.
It's hard finding a balance, I feel.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important. I feel like that's with anything, right? If you're like a gym rat, like you work out like a freak, it's like, I feel like there still needs to be a balance. It can become an obsession, you know?
Yeah.
What was the word? Did you do classes before surgery? Did you have
yeah.
to do? Okay. They called it addiction transfer.
Yeah, transfer addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That. And they said it happens a lot, right? You go from your food to maybe working out. And I remember all of us in our class laughing, like, okay, yeah, like that would be a real big problem, but it can be, you know?
Definitely.
Or shopping.
You know,
I know I shop a lot now.
I would love to shop a lot, but I just have to, like, you know, 5 years before I even had surgery, I went on a long self journey, I guess.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of healing and things that hard time.
Yeah.
Coming through a lot, and it's so crazy. I don't know if you're a believer or not, but
I am.
Man, it just transformed my entire life. And if I had not done that, made those choices before, I don't think I would have been able to do the surgery. I don't think I would have been strong enough.
And you know what? I love that you bring that up, because I feel like a lot of people don't think of prior surgery. I think people are so focused on, I need to get the surgery, and then my life will change. And I don't think they see of all that healing before, because, you know, if everyone's gone through things, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't handle certain situations, it's not just going to go away because you lost weight. You get what I'm saying?
No, it'll manifest in something different. It might not manifest in you eating, but it'll pop up in going to the gym too much or drinking too much, or you know what I mean? Like something somewhere, it's going to pop up again.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. And it's so important to, and I say it in every video, I remember them saying how hard this was going to be mentally. And I didn't really think about that, because I've never been one to really struggle with like anxiety or like, I don't know. I never really struggled with, like, I'm not going to say overthinking, but I'm more of a person that, like, if there's a problem in front of me, I'm going to create a list to try to tackle it and move forward. That's always been me. And when I don't, you know, it's kind of like a control freak. You know, and we don't have control over everything. Like my husband always tells me, like, it's in God's plan. He already knows what your life is going to look like, and you need to just take a step back and breathe. And when someone tells me that, I'm like, I'm in control, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I had to go through some serious, I got diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome in 2012, a year after my daughter was born.
Yeah.
And during that time, I gained between 75 to 100 pounds, and I was fat fit. Like, I worked out all the time. I ate pretty healthy, relatively healthy. I gave myself like one cheat meal a week, and I would fit it into my macros and stuff like that. And I thought for so long I was just spinning my wheels. The weight was never falling off. But it's crazy because, you know, all the stuff you do pre-op, like your EGD, your blood work, you know, the scans, all of those things. My insides were healthy. Like, my liver wasn't fatty, like none of those things. And my surgeon was like, you're like skinny fat.
Yeah.
And I'm
like your numbers weren't matching, basically.
Yeah. He's like, what do you do? And I would tell him, and he was like, yeah, I can see it. So it was just crazy. And even to hear on my surgery day that my liver was small, like he didn't have a problem.
That's insane, because I mean, and I can look it up, but I know it's a humongous percentage of people going into bariatric surgery with a fatty liver. Mine was a fatty liver to the point of a couple years ago, I did blood work, and she asked me, like, do you struggle with alcohol? And I was like, what? No, like I'll drink like maybe once every month, maybe twice a month. I'm not big on alcohol. And I was like, why? And she's like, because the numbers on like for your liver is like of an alcoholic. And I was like, what? So then we had to do ultrasound. And when they did the ultrasound right away, 100%, it was like, you have a fatty liver. I guess just the way the numbers come up, a fatty liver is to like, you know, of an alcoholic's liver. I don't know the details.
Yeah.
That was scary, you know? Yeah.
And I was scared of that. I mean, I knew body fat things just from taking nutrition classes and different things like that. I knew that the fat was covering my organs. Like, I knew that. So I don't know. It's just crazy to see that every detail mattered leading up to surgery time and what I thought was such a terrible struggle. And it really wasn't. It's so setting me up for success now.
Yeah. So it's PCOS is what you have, right?
Yeah, well, I don't have any symptoms or any of that anymore. I don't deal with any of it.
So how does that work? I mean, I know there's actually been a lot of people that have written me to ask me if I have PCOS. And I don't. My sister has it. She found out maybe a year ago that she had it, and she struggles with a lot of things. She struggles with fertility. She struggles with her weight. She struggles with, you know,
all the things.
Exactly. You know, an irregular period. Like, it's just a lot of things that she struggles with, her hormones. Like, it's crazy. So do you want to talk, or can you talk a little bit more about PCOS and how that's changed and stuff? So are you always going to have PCOS, or is that something that can go away, or no?
Well, they'll tell you there's no cure. Okay. But part of my healing process was I went to a like a weekend camp, like a church thing. Okay. And these people prayed over me, and I didn't have thought process for this. Like, I was just like, yeah, of course God is good. Yeah. You know, like, whatever. But after that weekend, I went back to my doctor, and there was no evidence of disease in my body. Like, it looked like I had never had it on the inside. Oh. So for me, I'm like, show me, like, how do I believe that? I just lived 4 years with chronic pain, fatigue, irregular periods, blacking out, you know, like, almost type 2 diabetes, all of the things. So show me. And they did. On the ultrasounds, my ovaries used to look like spider webs, like covered in cysts, and they were completely normal. And then, like, all of my blood levels, they were really bad. And when I say bad, like, they were testing me for this thing called Cushing's disease, which is a tumor in your pituitary gland. Oh, wow. And I would have had to do, like, cranial treatment and stuff. So it was bad. So whenever all of it came back, and it was like I was in high school again, but yet I was still fat, you know?
Yes, yeah.
I was stuck in that place of like, okay, I know it just pushed me into further, like, okay, if God would do that, what else would he do if I was obedient in eating, working out? And I did all those things. Yes. And for some reason, the outside of my body wouldn't reflect the inside. But every time I went to the doctor, everything was perfect. So now when I go see my endocrinologist, there's no evidence of disease there. So we just keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't ever come back.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's like, I'm so like interested in it just because of how it works. And, you know, everyone has their own story, and that's a huge part of yours. And just seeing where you are now after, you know, a large amount of weight loss and stuff, and how much that changes.
Yeah. And I know for sure, I mean, I know last summer when I got to my heaviest, I could feel symptoms coming back. And I had really low progesterone last summer, and I had to go on progesterone pills, and it was god awful. Like, oh my. Yeah. I've never had hot flashes like that before, and it was absolutely awful. Even like a cold shower with ice in the water would not cool me down.
That's insane. Isn't it insane the way our bodies work? Like, it's crazy. So now, being almost a year out, you don't feel symptoms like that anymore?
No.
And when did you notice that they stopped, like those symptoms? When did that stop for you?
literally immediately. It was the craziest thing. And my surgeon was explaining that, you know, when we have the sleeve, we have those hormones that sit at the bottom of our stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And what PCOS is a hormone imbalance. It's an endocrine problem. So
Okay.
your baby making system doesn't work at all. And so he was just telling me whenever he cut all those out, our body never produces more. So a lot of times whenever we're spiking our insulin levels with that, you know, the bad food choices, the too many carbs or processed foods or sugars or whatever, our body was constantly in like fight or flight mode. Well, now that we have no choice but to, you know, do the protein, make sure we get it in, make healthier choices, I'm not affected by any of it. It's just so crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy how all that works. Yeah, like with me, it's funny how you were saying how you were a fat, skinny person.
Yeah.
Like with me, I did struggle with the fatty liver, like I said. And other than that, like it was so funny when they would take my blood pressure and stuff, they would do it again because they were like, wait, they would think that I would have high blood pressure or whatever, you know? And I didn't. I never did. Yeah. But what I did have, and I just found that out maybe like a month before surgery, literally. So like in September of last year, my doctor told me that I was pre-diabetic. And I was kind of like, you know, I never heard those words. I would hear them say, be careful, like you can become diabetic, whatever. But it was just kind of like diabetes doesn't run in my family, but also obesity doesn't run in my family. So I was kind of like the starter of it, to be honest with you, because my parents aren't overweight. My cousins, my aunts, my grandparents, no one is overweight. Right. So it was like I was creating that, and that's scary, you know? But I was pre-diabetic, and I remember my doctor saying, if you weren't getting the surgery, we would be putting you on meds, like 100%. And I was like, that was when it really hit me. And he was like, but don't worry. He's like, I'm telling you this so that it's like drilled in your head. He's like, but don't worry because you're getting surgery and it's going to be cleared. And literally at my first blood, I think, was it 3 months that they did it? 2 months maybe? It was gone. Like it was gone. He was like, your numbers are nowhere near what they were, you know.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. And you know, I am so grateful for those things because I can remember the pain of being overweight, and it's amazing to me now that I can do like a HIIT workout and like my knees don't hurt, my feet don't hurt. And I'm like so thankful every time because I'm like, just last year, this would have killed me. I mean, I would have done it, but I would have been in so much pain.
Just those little things. I definitely agree with you. Just like when we go to the beach, and I remember the walk. We go to this beach in San Diego that the walk from your car to the actual water is a lot. And it's all sand. Like they don't have concrete. I think they put concrete now, but there's no concrete. So it's like a long way. And then, you know, we take our stuff and like our umbrella or whatever. And I remember like hating life. Like I would make my husband carry everything, and I was mad and I was sweating and I was hot and I was irritated, you know, and now I've done that plenty of times and it's like nothing.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. And it's those little non-scale victories, you know?
Yeah.
So,
you know, the pre-diabetic thing, my doctor, they put me on metformin, which is a type 2 diabetes medicine.
Yeah. Was that because of your PCOS?
They said it was, but I was also having to check my blood sugar levels every day.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. And like my sister talks to me about it and stuff, but like I have such a bad memory with like names of things, but I know it
made me sicker than a dog. It made me so sick. I was like, how did people take this and function? You know, it was just, ugh.
Man, it's so crazy to think that that was just a year ago.
I know.
That's what really blows my mind. You know?
It's so crazy.
No, but yeah, it's just like those non-scale victories. And that's why sometimes, you know, we have to remind ourselves when we're so stuck on a number, because I'm like you, I'm 160. I told myself I wanted to be 140. Like that was my thing. And I have days when I wake up and I see myself and I think that I'm humongous. And then I look at a picture and I'm like, Paulina, like you're wearing a size 5 or 7.
I know.
Never in my life. Like in high school, I was like a 9 and I was like squeezing into those 9s, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just things like that that I have to remind myself. But like I said, it's the mental part of it. And,
Definitely.
you know, sometimes it's hard to see how far we have come. And again, when they would tell us that in our classes, I was like, yeah, right. If I was 100, I have a binder. I don't know where it's at, but I put goal weight and I put 180. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
wow.
Yeah, like I saw it the other day. I was looking through it and I was like 180. And then I wrote like, I would do anything to be 180. And then I don't remember setting that goal for myself. And then I don't remember when I actually told myself 140 is your goal weight.
Yeah.
You know? And now that I'm 160, I'm content. But I have my days when I wake up and I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. I don't think that I'm content yet, just with like my stomach, my, you know, like those things. I'm like, no, I'm going to work harder for that.
For sure, I'm not. But I
Yeah.
have to get skin removal. I'm at the point where I can do whatever. I can do a million sit-ups. It's my loose skin. It's not going away.
100%. I know that that's a lot of my issue, but it's also like, is your loose skin heavy? Like, does it hurt your back and stuff sometimes?
It doesn't hurt my back, but TMI, and I have not shared this, but I am starting to get rashes.
Yeah.
And I really feel at this point that it's just loose skin. And of course there's fat, of course, but I feel like it's very minimal. Like, I don't feel like I don't like when it's like,
it's like if I pull my skin away, I'm like completely flat. So then there's times where I'm like, is it skin? Do I need to lose that? Like if I didn't, then why is my
TMI?
Yeah. I don't
know
what my BMI is right now.
Yeah. I feel like that's really important to do like a body analysis and really, really see your body fat and all of that, because that's going to give you a better idea.
Yeah. Yeah. But I know that
so hard on ourselves.
So hard. And I tried to do the back to basics thing. And it's like, all I can do is 3 freaking days. If I try anymore, I'm dying.
It's hard. And to be honest with you, when I did it. So actually, when I did it, I was 172.
Yeah.
And then that's what got me to 160.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't lose any more weight after that, but I haven't gained weight.
Yeah.
And then the other day, it was right before my 12 month, I told myself I'm going to do it again. And I tried it for like 2 days and I literally was like, how did I do it the first time?
It kills me.
It's hard. It's really hard. Obviously I did it before and I could do it again if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
But for some reason I couldn't do it the second time.
For some reason in my mind, I kept doing what I did when I was fat. I was catching myself saying, if I could just do this, I'm going to get that. And I was like, you're not going to get back into that mindset, because I'll be trying to do those things all the time, thinking that that's going to work.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. Like, I go back and forth with it. Like, I know that it works because I did it. And I haven't gained the weight back, because I got so many messages during that time, like, have you gained back your 12 pounds? Or, and I really, really, I know that it works. I did it. And I feel like the reason why it works so well is because, yes, the first 3 days are crazy, right? You're just on liquids or whatever. But then if you notice, you start adding I don't even know exactly, but you do start adding a good amount of food. So it's not like like when there's cleanses and it's like 5 days liquid. No. But still, it's hard. And I had a lot of people that started it and messaged me and said, I can't do it. And I'm like, then stop. You have to listen to your body. Yeah. That's it.
And I tried to do that too. And I tried to not track my food, thinking maybe I was just psycho with that. But whenever I don't track my food, I'm over here like trying to grab 40 snacks.
Yeah.
So I think for me, maybe tracking holds me more accountable, because like I see the numbers going up every time I eat. I don't know.
I agree with you, because I'm going to be completely honest with you. The last probably 3 weeks, I have not been doing that good. Like when it comes to food, like I know what I need to. I start my day every single day with with coffee and a protein shake, for sure, 100%. But then later on, you know, I start eating things because at this point I've figured it out that I can snack 10,000 times in one day if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Give me a bag of hot Cheetos, the big size, and if I wanted to, I could finish it all in one day by getting a handful every 10 minutes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's dealing with that. And I feel like now that we're further out, I know you said you want to lose more, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, but I feel like now further out, it's a whole other ball game. It's a whole other maintaining and, you know what I mean, not going backwards.
Yes, very much. Whenever I saw the scale last week, just from eating, I know it was like that bite of cake, and then a couple of days I had snacked after dinner sometime, just like not even thinking about it. And then I got on the scale and I was like, what did I do to myself? But it came off. I mean, it wasn't like whatever, but it freaked me out. I'm like,
yeah, we need to, it's just really hard to find the balance. And I've really realized that. And I still want to enjoy my life, but I still need to remind myself that food doesn't equal like enjoying my life. Like, yes, we can enjoy things here and there, but we can very easily go back, you know?
Yeah. And I have to remind myself that I'm worth making the healthy choices for. Yes. Like, even in this crazy time and everything changing, like I'm still worth it, and my body is worth it to make the healthy choice.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just reminding ourselves of that. It's crazy. Yeah. Do you drink coffee? Are you a coffee drinker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Someone asked, how soon after surgery did you drink coffee?
I think it was 2.5 months, maybe 3.
Okay, you were pretty early. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. I think maybe 4 or 5 months. Was your doctor pretty strict, like no caffeine?
No, he didn't care.
Mine was, and I kind of ignored it.
He was like, listen, you're going to feel like crap, so if caffeine makes you feel good, drink it. And I was like, okay.
Every doctor's different, yeah. What about alcohol? Do you drink alcohol or no? No,
I haven't tried or anything since surgery.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people always have that question.
Yeah, I know.
Huh?
I said, I know, I get it a lot, but I'm like, no, I mean, I've never been like a huge drinker. Now, if you ask people from high school, they're gonna say,
no,
don't let her lie to you. But I'm not anymore. It's not like I want to do that or anything.
Yeah. Someone said, name something that you eat that you know you probably shouldn't. So I know you mentioned a cake, but is there something that you kind of...
Cookie butter.
Cookie butter. I don't think
Don't even look it up.
Cookie butter.
Don't even look it up.
What is it?
It's made out of like those Mexican cookies.
Oh no.
And it's in like a peanut butter form.
No.
1 teaspoon's like 210 calories.
1 teaspoon?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Don't even try it. I tried a little, like my sister's like, or somebody, might not have been my sister, a friend or someone was like, taste this. And I'm like, what is it? She's like, oh, it's kind of like peanut butter. I was like hooked.
Yeah, see? My thing that I've been eating quite a bit of is gummy bears. And honestly, I don't know why. And they're sitting right now.
So good.
But before surgery, like, yeah, I like them and I would eat them like once a year, like maybe on Halloween if my brothers got it, but I would never buy gummy bears. And for some reason, I always have gummy bears. And it's sometimes like, okay, so this bag, I mean, it's a good size, but before surgery, I could kill this in 1 second, you know, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 13. So there's 9 servings. So this bag's 900 calories. And you don't think of that when you go to the movies and you open it and you're eating it.
Oh, that's so true.
So yeah, so there's 9 servings. So 1 serving size is 13 gummy bears. That's 100 calories.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, and it's weird because I really like the Smart Sweets, like the ones that I always eat. And those those like satisfy my craving. But for some reason, this stupid brand, I don't know why, I love these. I got
It's
these.
like the flavors and tints in those. I love those things.
Yeah, it's like pineapple, lemon, raspberry, orange, and strawberry. And they're really good. But it's if I eat this, it's 900 calories. And I can tell you, like I said about snacking, and I shouldn't even have this sitting next to my computer because when I'm editing or whatever, I'll grab some. And then I realized that like almost the whole bag is gone. And guess what? That's 900 calories.
Yeah.
So
I took the cookie butter to my mom's and put it in her pantry.
You see? Yeah. So it's like little habits like that like I'm telling you, if I'm sitting here editing and I have it right there and I get a little bit at a time, I don't notice. You're not gonna, are you really gonna grab one gummy bear at a time?
No.
No. So
like a handful.
So if it's 13 and I'm grabbing at least 4 at a time.
Yeah.
And you're like, home, right? Like 3 handfuls or 3 grabs is 100 calories.
So crazy.
So that's insane. And that's what I think I'd never paid attention to before. I knew about calories. I knew how it worked.
Yeah.
I chose to ignore it.
I don't think I really eat anything else that I barely tasted that cookie butter stuff like a week ago. And I've had to I immediately went and bought one because I'm like, I gotta see the nutritional facts. If this is like a peanut butter, this is like fine, like almond or whatever. Heck no, it wasn't. It doesn't have literally anything good in it. It's made from cookies and all these other oils, and they just blend it up.
That's crazy. That's insane. So someone asked about exercise routine. I know you mentioned since COVID that you've been doing the app. Before COVID, did you do did you go to the gym or did you have like a routine? Yeah.
I did Planet Fitness. I'd just go there and work out, but I would do 5 lifting days and then 2 cardio days back then. But then I was noticing like my weight slowed down much faster. And so I started doing lifting weights. And so I looked up a bunch of stuff, did a bunch of research, and I guess hey, I'm sorry, my daughter walked in.
Don't worry. No.
But doing the research with people that had the surgery that we had, lifting weights the first year, not that it jeopardizes anything, doesn't hurt anything. You're going to build muscle, but it will slow your weight loss, and then it will ramp up your eating. So it's like counterproductive. Like you're going to build muscle, but you're going to stall, stay, and gain muscle, which is fine. You're going to look good.
But that's crazy to me because 2 months post-op, I started with my personal trainer, and I do weights 5 days a week.
Me too.
For an hour.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, everybody's different, but I really feel that that's what helped me really lose weight. I mean,
well, it's going to burn more fat. It's going to burn way more fat than just doing cardio. But I noticed for me, and I also had to pay attention to my blood type and what kind of exercises were good. So I started researching on my blood type, and for me, it's like low impact. So I could lift weights, but as long as I'm not doing a ton of jumping and stuff all the time, just put a few of those days in there. I've noticed that I will drop, like if I stick to like the 4-week plan that I did on that thing, I dropped 8 pounds in like 3 weeks.
What does your blood type have to do with it?
I don't know. And there's a certain way to eat for your blood type.
That's so interesting to me. I just wrote it down because then I'll forget. So I'm writing things down, but I've never heard that.
Yeah. And people were mentioning it at the gym and stuff. Do you eat for your blood type? Are you doing keto or what are you doing? Of course, I'd tell them I had surgery or whatever, but I started looking into the blood type thing, and it's like everything that I crave when I'm eating healthy is what my blood type needs. So it's like your body's telling you what to eat.
That is insane. I'm going to do more research into that because that's really interesting to me.
Yeah. I have A positive, and I believe that I have to have lean meats and vegetables. Like I don't do very good with carbs, and I know that. Like I can't process them. I can't do very good. So when I do that, the scale just goes.
That is so interesting to me. Yeah, I wrote that down because I want to do more research on that. Because I've had so many people write me like, wait, you lift Monday through
Yeah.
Friday? And I said, absolutely. Honestly, I hate cardio. I'm going to be like, I hate it.
Yeah. It's not fun.
I don't
It's
like it.
not a
I
good
hate it.
time.
But when I go and weight train, an hour is like this, and I burn so many calories. I still burn up to like 400 to 500 calories in an hour with my trainer. And it never, like, I didn't stall until I hit 11 months, 10 months, 10 and a half months. I lost weight every single week. And people ask me, like, what do you think that was? And I tell them, honestly, every single body's different. I have people writing me that they're 5 weeks post-op or 6 weeks post-op and they haven't lost weight in like 2 weeks. And sometimes it's hard for me to respond because I didn't go through that. And I have to sound like I lost weight every week. You know, like I hate that because it's kind of like, okay, whatever.
I think I hit my first long stall at 60 pounds. After 60 pounds, it was hard for some reason, but then I started losing again. But maybe it was just my body trying to catch up.
How long did you stall for?
I hit that at 6 months, and that stall was only like 4 weeks. Okay. But then at 10 months, so not 10, 8 months, I was at 161 for 2 months till literally a couple weeks ago when I changed up the exercise and started eating for my blood type. That was it. And I have dropped those 8 pounds since then and another one this morning, so 9 now, but it was like hard and it didn't matter. It didn't matter if I did no snacking, it was just stuck at 161 forever.
Yeah. That's so, and I feel like you are doing, it's like doing the research to see how to switch it up. You know, something might work for you and not work for me, whatever. So I think it's just getting creative and really trying to do the research and finding out what works for you. That's what it is.
And just making it a lifetime of wellness, not skinny. Like, I'm not trying to be skinny. I just want to be well my whole life.
I hate the word skinny.
I know.
I know. There's people all the time that tell me, like, you're skinny. And I don't even know if that's like
is that a thank you? I
don't know. And like, I don't know if you watched I don't know if it was with Leah or my previous one, but so like someone told me that I was getting too skinny and that my face.
I watched that.
And I was like, I don't feel like, honestly, like, and I've said it before, like if I was to go to the grocery store right now and no one knows me there, they're not going to look at me and be like, that chick is way too skinny.
Yeah.
I look normal, you know, but someone that knew me at 304 pounds, they're going to see me be like, oh my God, you need to eat. I get that all the time. Like, you need to eat. Like, what are you doing?
I get that. I've gotten that recently. And I don't know if maybe just because those 9 pounds made a really big difference, or I haven't put pictures together to look and see from those times or whatever, but I've been getting it a lot lately, or you're going to blow away, or what?
Like little comments, I know. And it's like, I've learned that they're not going to stop.
No. Fine.
I'd
rather hear that than people laughing in the gym like, she's so fat, like what does she think she's doing, or whatever.
And how do you handle those comments? Like when someone says those comments to you, like you're so skinny or whatever, do you just like, what do you say?
There's only been one person that I turned around and said, it is a heck of a lot better than dying 20 years young. But the other people I just say, yeah, I'm getting there, or like whatever. Like
you kind of just like blow it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I am too, because I don't think it's worth it, and I don't need to explain. Like that was someone at my work, and I was kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Yeah, like you need to eat." Like, and I was like,
"Listen, I can't eat anymore."
Yeah, I do eat. I'm fine, you know. So it's just like little comments like that, but
the comment I get all the time, it's funny at restaurants now. They're like, "Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Was it nasty?
Was it gross? No. Yes. I get that a lot too, because you can't eat it, you know? I know. Like when you get a regular meal,
huge,
like a salad, it's like this big old salad, and I eat like a little bit, and they literally come by and I'm like, can I get a box? And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I need a box, you know? Have you ever ordered off the kids menu?
Yeah, I try, but for where I live, they're like rude.
Yeah. I know.
like,
I
no.
know a lot of places are rude. They'll be like 12 and under or 10 and under or whatever.
Like, listen, you want me to tell you what happened? You
I
want me to show
know.
you a picture?
I know. And then like my doctor told me that like they can give me like a little card or
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm like, cool, like I can, but at the same time I probably would never do it. But I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy.
I've thought about it because I mean, but then again, a lot of times I just share with my daughter or my mom or whoever we're eating with. They usually want to share, so it's fine.
Yeah, one thing that I know that I have to completely avoid, and I haven't really been across this because of COVID, is my family, they love to go to casinos, like the buffet.
Yeah.
And we live there, like, you know, and I'm like, you're going to spend $60, like when my dad takes us, I'm like, you're going to pay $60 for me to eat what?
Yeah.
To
There
eat
was
what,
one,
you know?
there was a business where I live where they were like peacefully protesting by opening their restaurant and having their buffet, you know, healthily done just so that their employees could make a living.
Yeah.
And we went there, but it was like worthless. I made a salad and I got a scoop of potato salad, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, like it's completely worthless. Like literally, there was this girl that I was in class with in my pre-op classes. It was I think she was still on the period stage, second stage, so she literally couldn't eat nothing. And
Yeah.
her and her family went to the casino, not planning that they were gonna go eat there. And they were playing, and then like the family was like, let's go, and she's like, I was gonna like, okay, let's go. And she wasn't even gonna eat though because she had what she was gonna eat or something. I don't remember the details. And she told them like, I'm not gonna eat, like I'm just gonna sit with them. They're like, sorry, if you need to come into here, you need to pay. And she was like, what? And she like called the manager, and then finally they were like, okay, come in. Like, but she had to explain everything. They're like,
oh my gosh.
and she's like, I'm not even like, I literally physically can't eat it, you know? So it's just uncomfortable sometimes. I know it's weird. That was one of the other questions, the negative comments, too skinny. I want to ask you, you have a daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you, how are you with, and this is my question. How are you with food and her? Like, do you have her on something? Like, do you let her eat like I just think about this because of the future of like when I have kids, I always think of how I'm gonna be. Like I don't want to be too much.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to be like whatever, you know?
Yeah, I let her enjoy things every once in a while, but I really try to kid-friendly, healthy options. You know, like I don't know. She wouldn't eat any vegetables, but she would eat green bean casserole, so I made the green bean casserole. You know,
Yeah.
like those things.
Like you find ways to incorporate the healthy stuff.
Or like she doesn't even know, but I would get her like the cauliflower crusted chicken breast, the little, loved them.
Yes.
Never even knew.
Yes. It's like those little things. Yeah. Cause I remember growing up, I would have friends that were like, I don't even want to say skinny. They were normal, right? Like I was overweight. I was always overweight. And we would go over to their house. And I would eat dinner with their family. And I was always like, oh my God, like you guys eat chicken and green beans. Like, you know, like my mom would feed us healthy stuff, but like we're Hispanic. So like my mom's food is delicious. And like, you know, sometimes we eat too much. I don't think, honestly, and this is embarrassing to say, when I was growing up, I don't think there was ever a time that I did not get seconds. Like it was always a thing. Sure. You know, I stood up and got food again.
And where I live, we're like super close to the South. So we ate potatoes with everything. Yeah. Every meal had a potato, had a roll, a dinner roll, a bread of some kind. Oh my God,
bread.
And then pasta of some kind. And then it was just like,
yeah,
the side dishes were like potato salad or macaroni salad or
oh my goodness. Yeah. So like my friends always wanted to come to my house because they're like, your mom's cooking, my mom's gonna make some nasty green beans again, like can we go to your house? And I was like, okay. And my mom would make like delicious food, you know. My mom is an amazing cook, so like her food is amazing, but it was always like tortillas or bread or like beans and rice and like things that are, I mean, if we would have eaten, like, if I would have had one plate, I probably wouldn't be overweight. I probably wouldn't be skinny, but I would be normal. But no, I would eat that fast because you're starving, and then you'd go get another plate, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's so crazy to think about that now. Like I was on the soccer team in high school.
Sorry.
No, don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
I was on the soccer team in high school, and I remember how much exercise I would do, and then I would run home and like eat pizza or like burritos or whatever. Like I would go get fast
Oh
food.
yeah.
And then I think now, like, if I would have exercised that much and would have gone home and ate healthy, I would have been healthy.
Yeah.
But I didn't,
So crazy.
you know. But you don't think about all that
No.
as a teenager. I don't know.
My parents did pretty good. My dad's like a master
good.
griller.
Okay.
So he loves to like smoke things or like
Yeah.
barbecue. So my whole life it was those kinds of things. So we would
Yeah.
have like barbecue ribs and steak and stuff every day.
Yeah, grilling is good. Like
Yeah.
it's way better than frying and everything, you know.
But like I said, all of our sides were carbs. There was no.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, all my friends wanted to come to my house too because they're like, your dad's cooking, your mom's cooking. So
I know it's crazy. This one was a good one. Was there anything? I know you talked about pre-op. Was there anything specific that you did to prepare for weight loss surgery? Like maybe in the couple previous months before it?
I completely quit drinking coffee,
Okay.
soda, and I had already taken myself off sugar and carbs.
How much in advance?
Like, it only took me 3 months to have my surgery. So my first appointment, I started then.
Oh, wow. Okay. From the beginning of it literally took 10 months for me. And I remember, because I started on Halloween. My first initial class was Halloween. I had to do 6 months of classes. And then once my 6 months of classes were done, it was a 4-month waiting for me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Probably a little bit longer.
My surgeon was super fast. So every time we had an appointment, we would do a class, a meeting, all of our other appointments. So it was just like crammed in because I'm from out of town. So we would cram it all in and then cram it. So
everyone does it different. That's very interesting. Like I had Kaiser insurance, and the way it worked, I didn't meet my surgeon until I was done with my classes. So
crazy.
it was a 6 months, and I was like with a counselor, like she would run our classes. And then once we finished, then we would meet with the psychiatrist and do everything.
Yeah.
And the final step was a surgeon.
Wow.
So like it was everything and then the surgeon. And there was only 3 surgeons. Like for it to be paid with my insurance, I didn't get to go and choose like who I wanted. It was between 3, and you got to choose between the 3, and I got the one that I wanted. He's the one, he did our orientation and stuff, and I really liked him.
Yeah.
But all of them would have been good because they have really, really good, like they've been doing it for, I don't even know how many years, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy to think, because people ask me like, how long was your process? And I'm like, I don't even want to tell you, because if you were to go to Mexico, you can get it done next month or next week, honestly, you know?
I always tell people when they ask me, like, don't skip the struggle of the waiting.
No.
Like you're gonna learn so much in that time. I know it's annoying. I know insurance is annoying. I know the appointments are annoying, but like you'll learn so much in that time. And I did a ton of research for like 3 years before.
Yeah, I agree. It's like not skipping all that, because that's what I'm thankful for my classes. I remember going through it and I was so like, oh my gosh, obviously common sense, you know? And now that I think about it, I'm like, I learned so much. And just now after, I think of all of that, everything, you know, they scare you. They throw out your stats. They throw out the, you know, how many people gain their weight back and all of that. And
you're obese category 3. Like,
dang, I know. It was, man, I don't even know. Like, I think about it and I'm like, how did I let myself get to that?
We didn't see ourselves like that. We didn't. Because I look back at my pictures and of course I knew I was bigger, but I didn't know. Like, I didn't know.
It was like denial, because I feel like for me it was.
Had to have been. Had to have been. Nobody wants to accept the fact that they're morbidly obese. I mean, geez, it's terrible. When you go to those appointments and you're seeing your normal doctor anyway, they already make you feel like this big for being overweight. So
I know. And then you hear those words and you're like, and I remember when I was big, you know, I've always been very confident. And my thing was like, so like, I'm big, I'm going to be whatever, you know, and like, that was my mindset, even though in the back of my mind, I knew that my health was only getting worse, you know?
And I think I almost took it on as part of my identity because everybody loves a fat, funny
Yes.
brain.
Yes. Seriously. And like, it's funny because I asked my sister now, like, am I different? And she's like, you're not different. Like, you're the same Paulina. She's like, but you're just, I don't know, like your personality is like brighter, you know? Because I've always been loud and outgoing. Yeah. Like, man, me and my sister are so loud. Like literally, like we're so loud. And everywhere we go and everyone stares at us. And then I'll be like, wait, why are they staring at us? And she's like, we're yelling. Like we're yelling our conversation, you know? And I've said this in my previous podcast, like even at work and stuff, if I have to do a presentation or whatever, I'm not like, don't look at me like, I'm big, you know? I'm always like that. I always carried myself like that. And I think
and I didn't hate myself fat.
Yeah.
So many people are like, I hated
Me either.
I didn't. So I don't know how to relate on that level because I didn't hate myself. I had to learn to love myself, even big.
Yes. Seriously. And I love that you said that because that's how I was. Like, I've always loved myself and I've loved myself. I remember after surgery and I lost my first 20 pounds and I was like, wow, like, yeah. And then my 50 pounds and my 100 pounds, you know, and it's like, you think of like, how can it get much sweeter? And it does. It really, really does. Even when your weight stops, you're still experiencing those non-scale victories. And you're still
it's like yesterday I looked in the mirror, I was reaching for something and I had freaking muscles. I was like,
you see it's like those things, even though like we're so hard on ourselves and stuff, there's so many things that we need to celebrate, man. I look at my closet and just like, I mean, I didn't wear jeans before. I would avoid wearing jeans always.
I know. They hurt so bad when you're big. I don't think people understand. It's so uncomfortable.
They didn't fit me comfortable. Like the thing with me is I've always carried my weight around my stomach. My legs and my arms were always, I mean, not skinny. Like they still were big, but they were skinny. Like my wrist, the size of my wrist is so small. And when I was overweight, it was so funny because everyone would be like, oh my God, your wrists are tiny. And I knew it was because they were like, you're big and your wrists are tiny. And I would always say, that's how I know that I'm not supposed to be this big. you know? So when I would put jeans on,
legs.
When I would put jeans on, it was like, I would have to get a big size because of like my stomach. And then on my legs, it was all loose. So it looked disgusting. No, thank you.
Same.
You know? Same. No, thank you. Has your like clothes changed since surgery?
Yeah. I started in like an 18 or a 20 and I'm like 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
I made myself get rid of my fat girl clothes.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you that.
For some reason it was hard. But being big, I would lose weight, gain weight, so I was always like, well, I'm gonna need those.
Yes.
But I've given myself like no choice.
Yeah. So
do you have sucks.
Go ahead, sorry.
Was that it kind of sucks because I don't have like hardly anything, but
yeah. I know. I buy too much clothes. It's pretty bad because even like in the months, it changed like from 8 months to now 13 months, 100% different.
Yeah.
100%. Like I bought a size 7. No, it was like a size, I think they're 9 and they fit me so good and stuff. And I tried them on the other day and they're humongous. And I was like, I wore them once. Yeah.
I did that. I didn't buy a bunch of stuff, but I had to. When I got rid of my clothes, I didn't have anything. So I bought some jeans and different things. And I think I bought 12s and a 10, and I have some 8s. The 8s are good, but everything else is big.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so crazy. So now that you're almost a year out, do you have, I know you still want to lose weight and stuff, but do you have other goals set for yourself? Like, let's say a year and a half. Like, what, is there any goals that you have set for yourself that you want to reach?
A year, I do. I mean, I want to be toned. I want to tone my body as much as I can and just let the skin be the skin and evaluate myself. My surgeon, he'll start looking at me for skin removal surgery a year and a half out, but he doesn't recommend until like 5 years if you're serious about working out and stuff, because he's like, listen, everyone rushes to the 2-year mark, you know, that's usually when they start getting their plastics, and then they're not happy with their results because they didn't give their body time to catch up.
Wow.
Like he says, a lot of times his patients will lose a ton of weight, and then something hard happens and they gain 20 pounds. Well, if they've already had their plastic surgery done, it can no longer go to their stomach, so it's going to show up in like their bicep or their whatever this is. And then,
what is like, what is that? Yeah.
Their calves and their feet and stuff. So he's like, wow. I would recommend, if you're serious about working out, give yourself 5 years.
Is it? Yeah. Doctors all have their own opinions on it. But I know. I think about that too, because I have loose skin, and sometimes, you know, I want to have kids, and like, why would I have plastic, like get my stomach done and then be pregnant? Like,
that's what he told me too. If you ever think about having children again, you can't get your stomach done.
You see? Yeah.
And I'm like,
it would be like a waste, to be honest. Like, you know, of course, like I get to that point where I get so irritated with it that I'm like, I want it gone. I don't care if it doesn't look good after kids. I want it gone, you know? But then I snap out of it the next day, and I'm like, let's be realistic. Like, let's be smart. It's not going to happen. Get over it, you know? Like, I know. It's a journey. It's a journey. It doesn't stop at 1 year.
And I don't want to I know this sounds dumb because whatever, but I don't want to have plastic surgery either. I don't, there's something in my head that's like, that looks so painful.
Yeah.
It looks so bad. I'm like, God, and I'm okay with pain. It's not that. It's just, man, I feel so bad for those girls.
I know. I see it too, but I know what you mean.
Then again, I see my arms, and I'm like, if I could just cut that off, I would be, you know.
Yeah, whatever. I know. With my arms, like, I didn't think that I would see that much loose skin, but I have it. Like, my arms are small, but like I have loose skin, you know? So, but I wouldn't do my arms. Like, I would for sure do my stomach, you know, because that's where I see it the most, I think. And I feel like, it would completely change. I've seen people, and I follow people that get skin removal, and it weighs 10 to 15 pounds.
Oh yeah.
So in my head, when I'm 160 and I'm so like, I want to be 140, I think about it. Like, when I get my skin removal, I'm losing that weight, you know. My personal trainer sees me, and she says, Paulina, when I look at you, I don't really see, like, I have thick, like my calves are big. I played soccer. I have a lot of muscle.
Yeah.
She's like, I see you, and I don't really see where you can lose more fat. Like, you know, and she tells me this thing. She's like, I'm being straight up. She's like, unless you want to be really, really skinny, like whatever, you know, that's on you. She's like, but when she looks at me, she's like, I literally think those 10, 15 pounds are just sitting in your midsection. And that's where it's at, you know? So I'm like.
And I'm not against plastic surgery. I would get it, obviously. Anybody would but I just want to see what I can do.
Of course.
So I guess that's my goal. Maybe just see what I can do with myself. Not get obsessed and crazy, but just see where I can get.
Of course, yeah. And that's a good goal for yourself, you know? I mean, with me, I try to get the numbers out of my head. Like, it becomes such an obsession with numbers.
Yeah.
And I was weighing myself every single day up until about 11 months post-op. And I'm happy to say that I don't do that anymore. I do it once a week. But literally every day it was like, I would wake up, get on the scale, wake up, get on the scale. And like, that would define my mood for the day.
Right.
It literally would.
I still weigh myself, not all the time, not every single day, but maybe twice a week or so, just to see where my fluctuation is at.
Yeah. No, mine was every single day. Like, I would not miss a day.
Yeah.
And then I stopped once I was at 160 and I kind of stayed there. I was like, I'm not going to weigh myself every day and see 160 every single day and be mad every single day. Like, it's not okay, Yeah. So that's kind of when I changed. But with that, like, because that was something that I was kind of like, my husband was like, you're going to weigh yourself every day. And I was like, leave me alone. Yes.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you want to add? Those are a lot of the topics, and a lot of them repeat. Is there anything that you want to add to maybe someone that's like waiting for their surgery, especially during it right now, like everything going on?
I just don't want them to get discouraged. I mean, we don't know. There could be bigger reasons to why your surgery got set back. Of course, COVID, but what if they would have slipped during that time? Or what if the doctor was tired? Or anything can factor into it. So just don't give up.
Yes.
You can do it.
Yes. And I'm huge on that. I know a lot of people don't like to hear it, but I really, really feel everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're frustrated and like, the waiting game, I feel like is a really hard part of it. But then once you get surgery, that's another hard part. So it's like, enjoy the moment you're in.
Yeah, enjoying the journey. And I've had to learn it, man, because you're going to be at 60 pounds and you're going to be like, if I could just get to this, if I could just get to this. And if you will just stop and say, I'm never going to be like this again. So I'm just going to love myself right here and I'm going to love myself there. So
yeah, and like you said earlier, it's loving yourself through every single step,
Mm-hmm.
At 300, at 250, at 200, at 150, it's loving yourself. And I feel like that's what's really, really important, because
Definitely.
what happens when we hit our goal weight and then it's like, then what,
And if our mind is not right, it's never going to matter. It's never going to matter what we're going to look like. I mean, you can reach those goals. You can get the plastic surgery. We can change our hair a million times. We can do all the things. But if we don't love ourselves, respect ourselves, and if our head, those constant self-doubt and shaming ourselves for eating the bite of cake or shaming yourself for whatever, if we don't fix that first, we cannot be happy with our results.
Absolutely. Preach. That's literally, it starts with your mind. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important to figure all that out first before, because then your mind, I feel like your mind takes so much longer to catch up with how much weight you're dropping, So
yeah. And it's true. I'll walk by the mirror and I'll be like, do you even have surgery? And then I have to you better stop thinking like that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So it's not that I don't have those things. I just stop and remember, we're not going there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know that we can talk forever. We should do another live soon though. That was fun. And we did that what? Was it like 3 months ago? Probably. It was before COVID, maybe longer.
Yeah. Somewhere around there at the beginning of the year or something.
We should do another one soon. Yeah.
Okay. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being on. This will be on next Tuesday. Next Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday.
All righty.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. So thank you so much for watching. I get so much positive feedback from these podcasts, so I promise you that I will keep up with them. This was about an hour and a half, so if you are still here, thank you. It means so much to me. And if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe. Please like this video, comment down below. Let me know on things that maybe you vibed with. Is there something that we talked about that you have gone through or are worried about going through? Comment below. I make sure to respond to all of the comments. I really, really like to interact with you guys. And yeah, you guys. So yeah, subscribe, comment, like, share with someone that you might know would benefit from this video. And again, you guys have a beautiful rest of your week. Bye.